Hi, Jack again from Roadstercycle.com with my Skyfire VMC-2. Hey, I wanted to do a little video to show you guys a problem that I've had over the last few months that was an easy fix, but I didn't figure it out what it was until I had mentioned it to Jason, and Jason told me that he had the same problem. Then it all dawned on me. So what it was that I'd take a part out that had just finished, I'd put my new part back in and then hit start, and then I'd start spraying off my other part, like into the trash or whatever, you know, the chips on it, and I'd get an alarm. I'd have an alarm go off that say no enough air, which should be not enough air, but you know, it's funny, but it's not. So anyway, so that was a problem, and the problem was I would stop immediately and go, what the heck, and I'd run around behind my machine and see on the air gauge, and it was fine. So I was very confused until Jason mentioned it, and I did something to figure it out. I took my air gun, went around the back, and I will show you what I had discovered. All right, be right back. Okay, back with you. So what I had discovered is that when I took my air line behind the machine, and every time I pulled the handle, it went down almost to the point where it trips, where it gets the alarm and says no enough air. Okay, so I'm like, what the heck? So what I discovered is that everything is on the back side of the gauge. Okay, and the gauge, or the, what do you call it, the pressure regulator here must have a hole that's really small inside, because it won't keep up. If you have your air gun going and it does a tool change, it'll alarm out every time. And I didn't know it. I must have alarmed out 7, 8, 9 times before I figured out, like talking to Jason, that was it. So it would go every time I squirted, it would go down the air, but as soon as it actuated the ATC, I'd alarm out, and then my ATC would get stuck, and then I'd have to undo the air and push it away and start over. Okay, so what I did was that, if you see inside here, let me move the camera a little bit. I did a little bit of fixing here so that it wouldn't do that anymore. Okay, so I got a T and put a T in here, and this is my line for my air gun on the front side of the regulator. Okay, then I went up here and went over and got rid of my mister that was here and put it into another solenoid that I got from Amazon for like 10 bucks. Okay, the biggest cost actually were, these are like $9 a piece, these push-in fittings that go from 3/8 to a quarter. Okay, so I put this in here nicely enough that when I unplug this, those two wires that come out of here, if you just tin them with a soldering gun, tin them nice, they'll push right into the connector and actually lock in. You know, now you can pull them back out, but they lock in really well to I'm not worried about it. So now this is my mister line. So when I hit my mister on and off, which I'll do that right now. Okay, so my mister on and off really didn't do anything to the gauge, and that's how I set it up. So now everything is before the ATC. This is all your automatic tool changer stuff, and it's still hooked up, and now it's on the correct side where it should be, and the other things, my air gun and my mister, are on the correct side, on the input side, instead of being on the output side of the regulator. All right, so that's my fix for that problem, and now it's so much better. I can, you know, spray off my parts and de-chip them and do everything with my air gun, and the air gun actually has more power now because it doesn't have to go through the smaller orifice. So I feel good. And doing the mister, that was just another thing for me, just so I know I'll never have a problem with it. Okay, usually the mister and your ATC never go at the same time, but I didn't want to take any chances or I just wanted to get it out of it because it shouldn't be on this side. It should be on the front side. So that's all set. So that's it. Well, that was my fix for the automatic tool changer jamming problem or crashing problem or whatever you want to call it. So hopefully that helps somebody out there. Or never use your air gun at the same time that your ATC is changing. But it's so nice to be able to pull a part out, put a new part in, hit start, and blow off your part and put it off to the side. I mean, that's kind of normal, but it wasn't doing that. I mean, you couldn't do it that way. So there you go. So hopefully it helps somebody out. And thanks for watching. Jack, Roadstercycle.com. See ya.